Some people have questioned whether or not I'm a masochist. Why? Because despite my griping and complaining, I continue to subject myself to the unmatched stupidity. 1. Come on, 2. And 3, come on. Yes, let's go! Of comment-suggested loadouts. Today I will play 5 builds for Titans, Hunters, and Warlocks suggested from the comment section of the last video and YouTube live streams. I will rate your builds offense, defense, versatility, survivability, speed, and consistency, and then give them a rating for flavor and viability. With the control playlist slowly being contorted into the 6v6 version of the Destiny version of Squid Games, you need a strong build now more than ever to help you get any advantage you can on the competition. Our first build is from Umbreon is AFK, with the build suggesting a rather interesting build using the Witherhorde. As with every episode, I will make sure to equip any fragments, aspects, mods, or perks I deem appropriate with my professional expertise in off-metaology, even if the build creator themselves didn't suggest it. In other words, if the build creator didn't explicitly state it and I think it can cause another human to have emotional damage, I'm going to be equipping it. The Witherhorde has been something I have wanted to visit since its prophesied birth, like the satanic devil child of the control playlist that it is. I kinda love this gun because it serves as the acid test for a player's ability not to stand stationary like a goalpost in a soccer game. Combine this with the confusingly forgotten about Renewal Grasp, and you then upgrade this grenade launcher's concentrated ball of screw you and everybody near you into a shot of nearly guaranteed rage bait. This combo alone is dirty enough to make me feel like I need to both take a shower and visit my local church to have my many sins against humankind be absolved by some kind of Bungie-sponsored priest. But what really kept me hooked with this build, surprisingly, was the sidearm. I am amazed how slept on the rapid-fire sidearms are in this meta, especially because we just got probably one of the best ones to date with the Brigand's Law. My particular role ran Pugilist and Demolitionist, refunding both of my abilities with every kill. It was so effective, I nearly entirely abandoned my original strategy of throwing my ball of all I want for Christmas is you snow globe plus firing a ball of whoever smelted dealt it, and just ended up with the smelted dealt it swap into the sidearm. This really feels like one of those builds that, given enough refining and practice, could easily carve its way into Archibald and Reginald levels of evil. The only issue you lack is a really good range option. Offense 7, defense 9, versatility 5, survivability 5, speed 5, consistency 6, flavor A+, viability A+. An extremely encouraging start, but we still have Titan and Warlock builds to test today, so next up was from Burrito Games, with a build that uses the Worm God Crest and the Chaperone. It seems like we keep coming back to Arc Titans whenever we make builds for them. Perhaps that shouldn't be a surprise when they are easily the most popular Titan choice. One day we will land on the absolute peak of Arc Titan, a build so masterfully crayon-consuming that all others look like a cheap imitation. Juggernaut Shield is, as you probably already know, an insanely powerful aspect, and Knockout is just, simply put, a violation of the Geneva Convention. So, is this combo the combo we have searched for? Not quite. Juggernaut plus Knockout plus Chaperone and a 750 SMG with Perpetual Motion and Swash is nice, but listen, I don't often don the mantle of Monkey Man, but when I do, I tend to rely more on my weapons doing the work rather than the actual melee itself. Reason being is that melees feel about as consistent as playing Minesweeper with a blindfold. Despite that, the increased melee range, healing after a kill, and the ability to one-shot melee after a melee kill is quite enticing indeed. In practice, most people in the upper tier of Crucible lobbies like mine have always packed some type of industrial strength can of anti-Crucible Ape pepper spray. So, while you might catch one person shaking hands with the Pope to the picture of the Exo Stranger, the second or third enemy will be ready to lay you out like Sleeping Beauty on Nightquell. Is the build fun? Absolutely. But can we be honest here, from one person whose playtime is least spent on Titan to hopefully another, I can say that the new Arc Titan is never, like, unfun, right? Like, even as a Warlock main, I have to tip my hat to this class no matter what form of monkey suit it puts itself into. Offense 8, defense 3, versatility 3, survivability 8, speed 7, consistency 6, flavor C, viability B+. All right. I need to take a moment to inform you about a murder. A murder that the press isn't covering. A murder that is being covered up by the Bungie government, and we have drank in the lies without even a second thought. I need to tell you about the murder of the Bastion. Ah, Bastion. I remember when they first invented Bastion. Sweet, sweet Bastion.
I always hated it.
In Bastion's heyday, it was the Destiny equivalent of the AA-12 full auto shotgun with a bit of wind-up. Nowadays, it feels like the spray bottle I use to get my cats off the dinner table. Part of me celebrates its absolute humiliation, yet the off-meta scientist in me really wants to see this thing at least have some capacity to be viable, and that's not to say it's completely useless, especially when combined with the Rain of Fire boots and a 180 Scout.
What in the world? Okay. Oh! Nice. Okay, there we go. There's the speed of more. Oh! We're alive somehow.
It's so hard for me to suggest balance ideas for this gun. In a lot of ways, it's stuck between being too strong with the slightest buff, or just being power crept by the stasis fusion rifles that came out after it. Despite my belly aching, I actually didn't hate this build. With the Radiant buff, the 180 Scout is a guaranteed 3-tap on Guardians, and just like with the Arc Titan from the last build, the Solar Warlock is so good in PvP, it works with just damn near everything. A few fragments here and there for better healing and Radiant effects, and you are off to the races. You might try swapping the Bastion for just a legendary Stasis Fusion Rifle for better success, because it was the only thing really holding this build back. Offense 6, defense 8, versatility 7, survivability 8, speed 7, consistency 5, flavor B+, viability A-. It's interesting seeing off-meta builds start to find a sort of predictable rhythm and pattern. Rain of Fire plus a 180 whatever and a fusion rifle, Arc Titan, melee exotic, Monte Carlo, Peregrine Greaves, just to name a few. So when a build slides across my metaphorical desk and says, hey you want to try something completely different? It has my full attention. From Technion, this is a build that uses the Bombardier's Eriana's Vow, a sidearm, and Neager Edge sword. I really do believe that Eriana's Vow is one of the most slept on weapons in the Crucible sandbox. 160 plus damage headshot on a weapon that doesn't have the literal draw time of a bow, with the same if not better damage profile, and twice the ammo of a sniper can be incredible in the right hands. However, despite my love of the special ammo salt cannon this thing is, the rest of the build was, kind of confusing me. Bombardiers are not a new concept for me, but they felt a bit out of place next to the sheer body count tallier of the Eriana's Vow plus a swap sidearm combo. I get that this was trying to be a sort of anti-8 tool, but it's like, okay, I'm about to date myself big time here. It's a bit like asking Freddie Mercury to sing supporting vocals at a Queen concert. I think like 4 people just understood what I meant. The star of the show is clearly the Eriana's Vow into my max range ally demand swap combo, so why not lean more into that instead of do the roly-poly hunter boy business that the rest of this build is suggesting? Despite my critiques, I want to make it clear, I really liked this build, which is perhaps why I am so critical of it. I can handle my own with very little extra mind given to the hurricane surrounding me. My suggestion, if you try to take this build out for yourself, is to go for a Radiant Hunter build with either Lucky Pants or Mechaneer's Trick Sleeves for a quicker swap on that combo. Offense 6, defense 7, versatility 8, survivability 6, speed 6, consistency 8, flavor A+, viability A+. One of the few times we'll see the versatility stat go higher than the offense or defense stat. And now comes down to our final build. If you've made it this far, hey, hi, how are ya? Hit that subscribe button if you like the sound of my voice so much. I'm planning on hosting a sort of game show with giveaways for my subscribers in future videos. Anyways, last up, yet another Arc Titan build. Yes, I know, another Arc Titan build. Listen, if you can make me like Sentinel, then I will be the first to give you kudos. But for now, Arc Titan. This one took a much different approach than the last one. Rather than diving hard in on the shortest distance between 2 points percussive fisted ancestry of the Arc Titan, this build goes for the more Lord of Thunder approach and uses Trinity Ghoul and the aspect touch of thunder on storm grenades. And can I just say, Trinity Ghoul is not just a PvE exotic. With just the tiniest bit of extra seasoning, this bow can do shocking things to the enemy team, pun intended. Combine that with the Thunderclap, which I believe is a naturally more defensive melee option, and the roaming Stormcloud setup with the Touch of Thunder, and you have a build that is both agile and menacingly good at holding its own. The build creator, whose name is a bad word on this channel, had us use this setup with the newly unbanned Titan Gauntlets, the point of contact brace, and it was underwhelming. The damage on these gauntlets is just too low to justify its use over something like the tried and true Heart of Inmost Light, but nevertheless, this was truly a unique experience. Offense 5, defense 8, versatility 6, survivability 5, speed 6, consistency 7, flavor, we're dropping the S tier, and viability B+. Hope you enjoyed. Subscribe, like, and leave a comment for a build of your own in the comments down below. Stupid builds have a better chance of getting featured in the future. Surprise me. Bless your faces, and deuces.